Hi, my name is Collie from Pilates.com, and I just wanted to do a short video for you today. Hi, my name is Collie from Pilates.com, and this video is just to talk to you about the connection of your centre when we start to work through the Pilates exercises. So if you think about it when you're lying on the mat, hips, your hip bones, your bony bits at the front of your pelvis, at the front part of your hips, think about those being pulled together from the inside of your body, almost as if they're being magnetised towards each other. And then lift, that feeling, that contraction, lift it up towards the ribs, and you'll start to feel the connection with the muscles, transverse abdominis and the obliques. So we're trying not to flatten the back into the floor, we're not trying to bring the pelvic bone towards the rib cage, and we're not trying to overarch the back, otherwise the ribs will lift and we'll lose the connection with the obliques. So we're thinking about drawing the hips down towards, the ribs down towards the hips. So if you had a glass of water, you could place it just below the navel and it wouldn't tip towards you or tip away from you. So you're in that neutral position with your pelvis, being equal on the right side and the left side. It's almost like the sacrum is being flattened out on the floor. The knees stay in line with your hip bones. Now the hip bones are the same width as the cheekbones on your face. So if you're not quite sure what's going on here with your hips, you can also just see in your peripheral vision your knees and in being as wide as your cheekbones. Now your feet are going to be as wide as your knees. Okay, so they're not out here too far because the knees will fall together, and they're not too close, otherwise the knees will fall away from each other. And then think about the pads underneath the toes, the balls of the feet being equal underneath each toe. So if you tend to roll the foot outwards, you'll feel the big toe lifting. So we're trying to keep it equal. And if you feel that you have your weight too much on the inside of the foot, the knees will fall inwards and your little toe will lift off the floor. Okay, so it's having its equal weight and also like a triangle underneath the floor. As the weight is equal underneath your foot, imagine this triangle starting here and then coming down to the middle of the heel. So that's where all the pressure points are, all along the base of the toes, coming down to the middle of the heel. And then you're having an equal balance on the foot. But also focusing on those feet being straight as well. So usually when I put people's feet straight, they feel as if they're going pigeon-toed. So have a little look and see if you can see what's going on with your foot, that the heel and your little toe are in alignment. If you put them against the mat, come over to the edge of your mat and see how you feel on one side, that the foot's straight. You might feel as if you're being a little bit pigeon-toed, which is perfectly fine and normal when you tend to walk maybe with your rolling the foot inwards, or if you walk with the foot rolling outwards, or if you stand in that position. And you can usually see which you prefer by looking at the base of your shoes to see which bit wears out the most on the base of your foot, so the base of your shoe. Okay, so it's all about alignment and thinking about working with your imbalances. So we're trying to strengthen the weaker areas and make sure the stronger areas get a stretch, because they might be quite tight in some areas of the shin and some areas of the thigh as well. So the muscles of the legs will be affected. Okay, so that's just a quick recap of what's going on with your centre, but also what's going on with the feet and the legs. You also need to think about your shoulders. Yep, something else as well. So making sure that your shoulders aren't up by your ears, because as you're concentrating with what's going on, everywhere else, your shoulders tend to lift. So thinking about this being like a smile, with the shoulders, the front of the shoulders being your dimples in the smile, and opening up those shoulders. So the shoulders start to sink back into the floor and slide down. Having the hands down, reaching for the mat, really helps, but not reaching as if we're trying to come up with the shoulder blades, but keeping them back. So pressing the elbows into the mat lightly helps as well to engage the muscles in the back, strengthening and bringing the shoulder blades down. Alright, keeping the back of the neck long, so the chin is like it's resting on a tabletop, so it's not back there. And if you find that really tricky, then think about putting a towel or a small little book underneath the head to keep the head in the right position. It might just be that the neck muscles are a little bit weak, especially if we spend a lot of time looking at a computer, or if your job involves a lot of driving in the car, and we tend to sort of lead with the chin. So the muscles get longer and weaker, and then they can't really support the weight of the head. And you can usually tell when you're sitting in the mat, sitting on the mat, it's quite hard then to lift the head. But we're trying to use the abdominal muscles and lifting from your chest. Okay, so we're opening the chest. Just a few little things to watch out for, and we'll talk about them as we go through the videos if you're joining us for any online training, and also in the classes we're always talking about it and correcting as well. Okay, so half of it is your awareness, so once you're aware you know what's going on and you know how to correct it. Okay, thank you for watching and take care.